Hey guys, what is up? Caleb Shockley here with my very first After Effects tutorial. So I'm pretty excited to be doing this. So let's get into it. So today we're gonna be creating a CW Flash super speed effect from the TV show, and you know what I'm talking about if you watch it. So this is what we're gonna be making. There you go, just run across with some lightning. It's not hardest effect ever, but it's pretty complex. So first you have to go out and shoot your footage, of course, obviously. So just take some footage of someone acting out like someone's running past them, and just take that and just gonna drag it into a new composition here. So there's my brother acting out the super speed, like someone's going by him. So just trim it down to where you need it, because it's probably don't need the full video. So after you do that, just take these little sidebars here. This is the work area, and just drag it to about where you need it, and then you can come up to composition, trim comp to work area, and there. Now it's only the length of what you want. So after that, you can take the footage of someone running across the screen. No, don't drag that into a new composition. Drag it down on top of your other footage in the same composition. So there I am running across the screen. So what I did is I turned off the main layer at this point, and I went to the point of the video where you fully see my body, because if you don't start here, it's not gonna work. So just zoom in here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotoscope the person out. And if you don't know what that means, it's where you take the masking tool up here and you just mask the person out or something so that it's singled. So we're going to do that here. And the good thing about this is that since your person will be moving so fast, you won't be able to you won't even be able to tell that the mask is not a perfect mask. So that's a good thing. So I'm just kind of going. I mean, you can make it perfect if you want to, but I didn't. So there I am, singled out here on this black background. And you can change that to this checker just by pressing this button. So if you go back to the main here, so this is where I start. And if I go until I'm off screen, I'm only there for about 11 or 12 frames. So that's about how much we're gonna mask out. But that takes a long. Okay, so I'm back here, and I have my and I'm got myself fully masked out and I did that for about 12 frames. And this really isn't the only way to do it. You could shoot your character in front of a green screen if you didn't want to go through this process, but I didn't have enough green screen, so I did this. Okay, so after that, after you have your person all singled out here, you're gonna turn the main layer back on, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here, and we're gonna set the keyframe for position. So just press this stopwatch next to position, and you just hit these drop down arrows to get there. So at the beginning, it's just gonna be off screen, so just right over here. So then I'm gonna move forward to about here, because I know this is about 12 frames or so. So I'm just gonna drag them all the way off, and there you go. Now you you're running across really, really fast. Bam, there you go. Looks nice. But there's only one problem, is that while you may be running across really fast, it doesn't really, you have no motion blur. You're just, right there. So to fix that, what we're gonna do is you're gonna click the motion blur right here over to the side next to here, and you're gonna click this up here so it enables it, and there you go. You're all blurred out. So there you go. I'm all blurry. Okay, so after that, what I decided to do is I duplicated this layer a couple times right there. So to do that, you can hit Control D. And then I just moved one layer back right there. See, now it's just right there behind it. And then for this one, I did something a little different. What I did is I kind of scaled it down and then moved it off to the side here. So now it's kind of coming off, but that looks really, really weird. So we're gonna go to blur and sharpen, and I added a fast blur. Let's just drag that on there, and I just turned it up so that way it's kind of looks more like a streak instead of just a random little guy. So there you go. Now you've got that. It just kind of makes it look like you're moving a bit faster. So then after that, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pre-compose all this. So just select them all and right click and go to pre-compose. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it footage slash speed. So that way we know what it is. So then after that, so this is the part that kind of makes this more unique in my opinion than most super speed tutorials. And we're gonna right click, go to new solid, doesn't matter what color, I just made it black here, and just start typing in advanced, and one thing that will come up is advanced lightning. So we're just gonna drag that on here. So we're gonna change it from direction to strike, so that way it'll follow these little points here. So we're just gonna first off, so we're gonna go to the frame right here where you can fully see the bag. Just drag it on right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit the stopwatch next to origin and direction. So that way both of these little points will follow. So for each frame, as we're doing here, just move it so that it moves right along with your character. Okay, so now we're just gonna drag it off. So there you go. You have your lightning following you all the way across. We're just gonna trim this down here. That way you don't have this big red bar everywhere. Okay, so in the TV show, you notice if you watch it that the lightning is yellow. This is not yellow. That's blue. We don't want it blue. So, just come here, just change it to yellow. It's pretty simple. Just change the opacity and the radius so that way it's not too big. And it doesn't really matter about that part because we are not going to leave this inside part white because that's not right according to the TV show, which is what we're basing this off of. So I used a free plugin from Video Copilot here to make it yellow. It's called VC Color Vibrance, and it's free, so it will not cost you a dime, which is really good if you don't have money. just make it the same color as the glow here, just this yellow color. And if you notice, you've got these little white spots here. We do not want the white spots. That's not something that that's good. So to do that, just turn the brightness down just a little bit and turn the gamma up, and there, that'll kind of fix it. So then go back to the glow here and just turn it up a little bit so that way you can see it more. So so there you go. Now you've got your lightning. So after that, you're gonna go frame by frame and just and here, let me show you an example. So after that, see, it's right there. So I'm gonna move forward 1 frame, and I'm going to cut it, split the layer by going Control Shift D, and I'm just gonna move it. Just move it somewhere else. That way, it's not always in the same position. Because if you watch the TV show, you'll notice that the lightning is never in the same place. So I'm just gonna skip on. Okay, so I'm back here, and so I decided with this first layer here to I changed a bit of settings to make it look more like what it was in the original, and I added a second lightning. All the same stuff, just you can make the settings all your own, all that good stuff. So then after this, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate each layer 1 time, just once, and with each layer, just gonna move it, move it somewhere else. That way, move that down there. So there you go. Now you've got a whole bunch of lightning there following you. Okay, so if you watched it while I played it through there, he's kind of moving pretty slow there. So there was one thing I did to fix this so right here, I had a little problem there. Sorry about that. So right there, what I did is I took this main layer and I split it, moved forward about there, and I split it again. So I'm gonna right click, go up to time stretch, and right now it's at 100. I'm gonna change this to about 75. No, maybe 60. There we go. So that way he kind of moves faster there, and it doesn't look like he's moving so slow. There you go. Now you may not think that makes a big difference, but in the end it really does. Really makes him look like he's moving with it. Okay, so after that's done, we're gonna select all the lightning layers, and we're gonna pre-compose those, so that way they're all together, and we're just gonna call it lightning. Pretty simple. So after that, we're going to go back up to blur and sharpen. This time we're gonna add a directional blur, and so just turn it up so you can see it. Just change it to about 90 degrees, so that way it really looks like it's blurring in the direction. Just change it to about 7.4 or 7.3, something like that. It really looks like it's kind of moving there in exactly the direction that it's moving. So let's just play this right there. There you go. So now you have a CW flash super speed, and you can change the settings to make it look like you want as many lightnings as you want. Doesn't really matter. This is just how I did it. So there is how you can make that. So thanks for watching, guys. I will probably be posting more tutorials when I come up with them, and just again,